Hi, I'm Sarah Jenkins, and welcome to Beyond the Falls podcast. Today, I have Tara and Ricco Albores with the Sunshine Fund, and I'm super excited to learn more about all that you two do. So I'm just going to start out every podcast. I'm going to ask you this, Tara. What's your tie to River Falls, and were you born and raised here? Did you go to college here? Tell us a little bit about you and how you came here.
I'm probably the opposite of most people that you talk to. I did not grow up here, and I did not go to college here. My husband and I moved here when our kids were young. It was about 17 years ago, and thought we'd be here for 2 years as part of a job transfer, and fell in love with being here and have decided that this is where we're going to raise our family. So we've been here for 17 years now and are really, really glad that this is where we decided to do that.
Yeah, I love it. Ricco, you're part of the Sunshine Fund. Can you tell me, how are you guys involved with our community? What do you guys do?
Yeah, we do a lot. So we try to help out any family we can at all. So if it's cancer, if it's a sports injury, if it's something on the street that happens, anything like that, anything that happens, we try to help out in any way we can with gifts like gift cards, grocery, gas, checks, anything we can do, depending on how serious the situation is.
Yeah. I was going to ask, is it limited to only high students who have families in the high school, or is it?
Yeah, so we try to do everything through our district and then in town too.
Okay.
And so if it's really nice if they have a tie in the district, because we have several teachers on the board that can help us figure out their address for things like that.
Yeah.
And then other than that, it's River Falls in general.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll get people that reach out to one of our board members. Sometimes we'll get a community member that will just email us directly with a need of their own or even something that they've heard about, and so we're able to discuss that at our meetings too. So having the in-school connection is great, and then having the additional community connection with some of our adult members is really nice too.
Yes, I was just going to ask that. Does one, if you know somebody's in need, what's the process?
I would say, the great thing about the student-led part of our organization is they do the majority of the work, and so they are really often the ones who are bringing the needs to us. They hear about a friend who's injured or a parent of theirs who is going through something, and so they'll bring that to the meeting. But outside of that, again, we have district board members from the high school, the middle school, and then the elementary school who bring things to us, and then general board members like myself and a few others who maybe have more of that community connection in general.
Yeah, that's awesome. You guys are doing really great work. I feel like, personally, I know a lot of families that have benefited from the work you guys do, and I just think it's great. My next question was going to be, how do you guys raise funds to provide these gifts to those who need it?
We do a lot of fundraising and different events. Like in the summer, around the end of July, we do a golf tournament that usually gets a lot of attention. That's really fun too.
Yeah.
I want to golf in it at some point. But other than that, we'll go to Johnny's a lot on Fridays, the first 2 Fridays of the month. Around, what time is that, like 5?
5 to 6:30.
Yeah, and then we do a drawing, so it's 50-50. And then the other night we did the 50-50 at the football game.
Yes.
So that was fun.
That was great.
And then we just try to, if there's places in the community that are like, we'll help sponsor you guys, get the word out, we try to do anything like that. And then a lot of foundations will help try to donate too, if they feel the need.
Yeah.
And if they just want to help out too.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think we've had great partnership in the community. Johnny's has been great with the 50-50. We do a bingo event there every year. The Man Up movement has supported us, and we're presenting at Power of 100 Women. So a lot of opportunities. We do baseball concessions and just partnered with Blooms for Happiness. So anyway, we're able to also partner with community businesses
Yep.
also feels really advantageous and special for us because we're able to help one another out.
Yes, I love it. And I'm excited to see you Thursday at
Yes.
the Power of 100. Power of
We'll both
100
be there.
Women. You'll be presenting, so that'll be great. Ricco, tell me what it's like. What's a meeting look like for students?
Usually we get to meet in our library in a separate room, and so it's kind of like a comic book movie where you got all the people at the long table. We got everybody stacked up there, and then we have, right now, Elliot Bell is our leader for meetings, so she'll read off our agenda. First we go through families, and then we go around the table and we throw out ideas of what we think they should get, how much they should get of it, and then we go around and have people write cards, and then those are usually the people saying what we should do is normally our kids, and then even the people writing our cards are the kids, and then we have people taking care of finances too, like tracking them, and that's also done by the kids. So it's really just,
Wow.
yeah, it's there's leadership from the adults and guidance, but other than that, we take a huge part in how we do it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's awesome. How do you decide? You know, you mentioned you talk about the families and things like that. How is it decided who you're giving to, or is there enough funds there to go, yep, we've got a little to give to everybody, or how is that decided?
Yeah, and that's always been a tough question. I've been on it for many years. I've been on it since freshman year, and it's still hard for me to kind of get the gist of this should be considered this amount, but it's really, it comes down to if it's, we'll go really low to really high. If it's like a sports injury, or if it's something like a parent dying or a cancer, like there's those things where it's, you need a lot more for help, and if it's a passing away, we can do like flowers. If it's a sports injury, we can do something minor. And then we also like to help out families consistently. So
awesome.
We'll give them I don't want to say small amount, but we'll give them a smaller amount and then keep going back to them just so that they have a steady helping throughout a longer time, because we have a limit too on how much we want to help.
Yeah. What's the process like if, say you're a student and you're interested in becoming part of the Sunshine Fund because you guys are doing such amazing things? What's the process look like for a student coming in?
Yeah, we try to get back the exact number we lost, and so they'll have the people on the board, like the kids, send it to the people they know that would be a good fit. So I think this year we added one guy in my grade, another girl in the grade below me, and then a lot of freshmen and sophomores. So those classes, when they graduate, it'll be a big opening. But other than that, we just get the application and we're told to give it out to people we think would be a really good fit.
Okay, so you kind of have to be asked.
You do, I think, and you know, we have a great mix of students. There are a total of 12 student board members, and just a really good mix of kids that participate in, you know, different sports or activities, or, you know, maybe sometimes none at all, but they want to be able to volunteer and give back to the community. So a really good mix that way. And I mean, the application process, you have to explain your why, like why you want to do this. You go through an interview with your peers. And so it's not just a like, hey, I want to do this.
I registered and I'm in.
Right. There's a process that you go through, and then I would say the even bigger part of that is there's a commitment going forward. I mean, these kids are attending meetings every other week, even in the summer. They get up and show up really early in the morning in the summer. Otherwise, we meet during the school year. But they're meeting with us every other week, and they truly are, like Ricco said, running the meetings, tracking the information, delivering the gifts a lot of times. And so the application process is difficult, I think, in terms of what you might expect otherwise. And then the ongoing involvement is a big commitment.
It is. How long are the meetings? So it's every other week?
Yeah, we've had a few go quite a long time.
Sure.
In the summer, especially our first meeting, we do it at retreat, and that usually ends up being a long one just because of all the things we have to talk about, and there's more families in that one. And then other than that, it just kind of depends on what's been going on in the community.
Sure.
And then I would say, like,
maybe about an hour.
yeah, an hour. That's probably a long one, is an hour.
Yeah. I mean, during the school year, we have to get it in during the wind time. And
I missed
You got to be
class
efficient.
time.
At least got to keep you guys
Yeah.
on track.
she does, which is another great leadership skill for her. I mean, there's so many things that go into it for our students who are leading these meetings, taking the notes, the meeting minutes, tracking the financials. Like, there's a lot for them to do.
And to be prepared for every other week. So
Right. They send the agenda ahead of time. They send out families that they've heard about. So really a lot of work on their part.
Yeah, it's not just the meeting commitment, it's all the preparation for each meeting too.
And then the fundraisers.
Oh yeah, and you just mentioned a bingo tournament too earlier. What time of year would we be keeping an eye out for?
In early 2025, springtime-ish, before it gets too nice outside when we all want to be outside. But we'll be doing that at Johnny's again this year. So I know that Colleen Yankee is working with Cheryl on picking a date for that. But watch for some more information on when that is. Last year we did small business bingo, and so just partnered with small businesses in River Falls mainly and had bingo prizes based on that. So again, another great opportunity for us to partner with the community, and when we give out gifts to families or support in some way, we also try to keep that local too. So just a big push of ours to continue supporting local, both in terms of the families that we help and the businesses that we're supporting.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you guys know the history of the Sunshine Fund? Because I know it's not like been around for 20 years.
No, it's been around for 8 years.
2016, right?
Yep.
2016.
Yep.
And how did that, do you know anything about how that got started? Out of curiosity.
I do. Do you want to jump in or want me to take it?
I can do a little bit of it. It's a little hard for me to remember, but I know it was created in 2016 to help out a family in our community, and they thought they could use a group of people to have some help, and then we thought that was a pretty good idea and we could really help out our community with that. And there's a lot of people that struggle that nobody has any idea that they're struggling.
Yeah.
And so it was such an eye-opening thing that you could have in your community and a good club for experience.
Yeah, and so started by 2 students really who they wanted to help a peer's mom who had cancer, and now, from 2016 till now, we've helped over 600 families.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. And
wow.
I think it is very eye-opening. It's a huge number, and to be able to allow the students, we all sign a confidentiality agreement, and it's a very serious part about what we do, but for them to have insight into what these families and kids are going through is just invaluable for them, and I think even for us as adults too, to see that and to understand that sometimes it's just the simplest thing. So it is giving a gas card or a financial donation or flowers or a meal card, something like that. It just, I think, helps these families or these individuals feel like, wow, somebody sees me, somebody recognizes me or just is helping out. And so that feeling, I think, for both us and for them is really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask, do either of you have maybe a favorite,
like a story or
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss for words. Yeah.
I remember one time there was a family who lost a lot in their house. Try not to say a whole lot about it, but
nope.
we ended up getting them new beds because they couldn't really afford them, and then I wasn't able to go, but we went and helped put the beds into their new house. Oh. And I wish I could have been there to see it, because they talk about it a lot, where it affected their family so much. They were sleeping on the ground. They didn't really have a whole lot, and we were able to get them all mattresses. Like the kids, they loved it.
Yeah.
And that is something I wish I could have experienced, was to help a family like that.
Yeah. Wow. I can't imagine. I mean.
No, and that's why, a lot of times, it may be a gift card or something like that. Sometimes it's something as big as helping in a very serious situation. So, our contributions aren't just limited to the things we talked about earlier with the gift cards. I mean, last year we had a family who, one of their family members wasn't able to be there, and they were essentially responsible for like chopping all their own wood to heat their house in the winter. Cool. And so you had these kids and a mom, they were chopping their own wood to do that, and that's a huge undertaking. Mm-hmm. And so we had heard about that through the board, and someone on our board reached out to a friend who happened to have a lot of wood, and he donated several truckloads. Oh. And so we went and loaded it up, took it to their house, unloaded it, and I mean, they were, just all in tears. Like, you think about the amount of time and work and effort, and again, just to feel like, wow, like that's just something we needed. And so those are the situations that I think stick with you.
Yeah, it's incredible. You guys are doing such awesome work, and I just appreciate you taking the time to come and chat with me. Is there anything else that you guys want to add that maybe I didn't talk about?
I don't think I have anything.
No, I mean, we're excited to be here, and we appreciate the opportunity to be able to share more about what we do. I mean, the fact that we're able to run a student-led organization, and for us as adults to be able to see these kids grow from, whether it's freshman year, sophomore, junior year, into that senior year, and all the different things that they do, the public speaking, the record keeping, the running the meetings, all of that, it's amazing for us. But to be able to help the community in all the ways that we do, just, bring a little bit of sunshine to them, maybe on what might otherwise be a bad day, is something we're always excited to share.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, thank you so much, and thanks for all that you do for the River Falls community.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
We'll see you again on Beyond the Falls.